And then the second film, of course, Hasty Heart.
Yes, I was very lucky.
That was a wonderful start.
It was good.
I mean, so early on. Really.
I know, I was very lucky. Very lucky
film.
indeed. I mean, I still was pretty green as far as film technique was concerned. I had a great deal of help from the director and producer in that particular picture.
But that was a wonderful part, I mean, to actually be playing someone with so many...
It was, yes.
Terminally ill Scottish soldier.
And
did you realise when you started...
Had there been a twist of fate, I might have been Prime Minister of England. Ronald Reagan might have still been hoofing around in the halls. There we are.
Had you had any idea when you met him and worked together alongside him in that film that he would ever become the President of America?
Well, he was a very political animal, and I knew that he would be involved in politics. And when he became governor of California, I thought, well, the next step for him is obviously presidency. I was pretty sure he'd get it. When we were making the film, he was president of the Screen Actors Guild, which is the American Film Actors Union. And a very good one he was, a very good negotiator and very tough. And that was fringe politics, and he went from there, of course, to be governor of California. And we had a lot of talks together, Ronnie and I, about politics and about the world in general, about the aftermath of the war. He was very shaken by the state that England was in, what he saw of it, especially London. You see, the Americans, while they were involved in the war, most certainly, they weren't touched by it. I mean, physically and geographically, they weren't shelled and bombed and so on. When he looked around London and saw all the devastation there, because this was only a few years after the war, we still had rationing, in fact. He was very, very, the word's not impressed, but he was given food for thought. Because until then, he had been rather, for example, anti the Marshall Aid. He thought, why the hell should the Americans have to bail out the Europeans? Until he saw what we'd had to contend with.
You've just taken me really totally by surprise, because I've heard that you weren't too forthcoming on talking about Ronnie Reagan.
Well, I don't know where you heard that. No, I'm not. I don't. I'm only too glad to talk about him, but
I believe he's never forgotten your birthday. And
not in the sense of it was hell and I was there.
Yeah.
You know.
Yes. Well, Hasty Heart, back to that, because it was a very special film, so memorable for many people. But for you, certainly the Oscar nomination, the British National Film Award, the Golden Globe, so many accolades. I mean, what was it like being a real film star?
Well, it was astonishing for me. I mean, I was devastated by it up to a point. I also thought it was a lot of malarkey. I took a lot of it with a pinch of salt, and I just made the best of it.
You didn't get all big-headed and...
I don't think so. No. I just reckon I was jolly lucky. Like a lot of people, I reckon I was lucky to be alive at all at that time. And I found people terribly helpful and very nice, and I found the film industry, on the whole, much more friendly than the theatre.
Well, yes, because, I mean, it seems that certain people take... they're going to be a film star, certain people are going to be a stage actor or actress, and at that time it seemed to be a wonderful world to be in, didn't it, the film industry?
It was. That was the heyday of films.
What was so different about it? Why was it so special?
Oh,
what's gone wrong with
many differences. I mean, there were many, many, many more feature films, cinema films being made. It was a huge industry. There were real stars.
That's what I mean. Really, real big stars.
One was bowled over to meet, you know, and Hollywood, of course, was teeming with them. There was the contract system, which doesn't exist any longer, where major stars and others are under contract to a particular production company or studio. That doesn't exist now. And it wasn't quite such a free-for-all as it is today. I mean, in those days, actors were actors, and they didn't all aspire to being directors and producers and goodness knows what. It was a very different way of life.
What happened to your life after Hasty Heart? I mean, were you inundated? Was the whole sort of silver screen wrapped around you? Were you sort of, I don't know, covered in cotton wool and...
Well, I was under contract to Associated British for 12 years, which was one of the two major production companies in this country. Rank and Associated British were the two. After some years, I also had a contract with 20th Century Fox in America, so I had the best of both worlds. I had a contract for 1 year in England, one a year in America, and time to make a third one in between if I wanted to.
Was it the Cadillac and the...
Oh, Cadillac?
What was it then?
Rolls Royce.
Oh, excuse
Good
me.
Lord.
Oh, well, I'm terribly sorry. When in America, I just thought, Richard. But cocktail parties in glorious times.
Yes, indeed, it was. I avoided the glitzy glamour life as much as I could. I played a lot of tennis and I swam with people and I had as an ordinary life as I could possibly make it, both there and here. I mean, I didn't live out there, you know. I spent months every year out there, but I would refuse to live there. I refused to have a permanent contract which would keep me there.